Shalom. All right, before I get started, I want to give all the glory and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Rakakorash. Double honors unto my apostles and others of great millstone. Peace and safety to all the sincere Akyam. That's out here pushing this word in truth and in all sincerity. Shalom. All right. Back at it again. It's going to be another quick one. All right. But as you can see from the title, this was a stat that I recently found out this past weekend at camp, and I figured I'd do a lesson on it because it's a pretty serious thing to consider, to think that just to ponder upon of the state of men. All right. So let me pull this up. I'm getting everything situated as well as, let's see. Bear me 1 second. I am searching something, so bear me 1 second. It's tripping. Hold on, give me 1 second. I'm gonna find this. Let's see. Hold on. What's the suicide rate in America 2025? Let's see. Let's see. I'm looking for the exact thing, which is fine. Give me 1 second.
Hey there. I've got a...
Relax. Hold on. What? Oh, they're tripping. Okay. Well, when you look it up, they want me to log in onto my iPad. I'm not doing that right now. But it breaks down to over 700,000 people in America this year, thus far, have unalived themselves. Okay? That is roughly, when you break it down, and when I say unalive, of course, I'm just, for the sake of the algorithm, but suicide rates is what we're speaking on. That breaks down to every 43 to 44 seconds, a person takes their life. Every 44 seconds. That's what it breaks down to, right? And that's a mean statistic to think about. That's that speaks to a higher issue. That speaks to a different problem. That speaks to the state of people. All right, and that's not good. And in no fashion could you convince me otherwise, right? So it says, this is from the Visual Capitalist. This is from the visualcapitalist.com. Cut some air on. And it says, suicide in America, a closer look at the statistics. This was from this year. And it says, suicide is one of the leading causes of death in the United States, In 2023 alone, more than 49,000 people died by suicide across the country. That was equivalent to one death every. Who? Now, what? Look, when you ask ChatGPT for the most common, most current rate, it says every 44 seconds. So 2 years ago, that number was every 11 minutes, which is still horrible. But imagine it going from every 11 minutes to every 44 seconds. Why? This is what people should be speaking to. And I made a point at camp as well last Saturday about the fact that every last one of us knows somebody that A, has attempted to take their life, or B, has successfully taken their life. We know of, all of us. So what has caused that? Why is it that hundreds of thousands of people are choosing that as the way? That's a simple, it's really the things that you should be questioning. All right? Questioning this society. I've done lessons in the past speaking on the work, how America is ranked like #1 in the world as far as developed countries, and their citizens work. We work more. Americans work more than any other first developed country in the world. And when you break down the statistics, when you break down the numbers, and you look at the distribution of wealth, that wealth is not in the hands of the people. I think I heard something years ago that it was some to the extent that Mark Zuckerberg owns like 50% of all like millennials' wealth. Like if you look at all the wealth of millennials, Mark Zuckerberg owns like 40 to 50% of that chunk is just basically his. This is where people are. Now let me get a scripture. All right. Let me get back into this article. But let's get a scripture. All right. What is that? Let's go to Proverbs 29. All right. This is Proverbs 29:2. And it says, when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked bear rule, the people mourn. And we are in a time of universal mourning. All right? Go on TikTok and look at the amount of videos of men, women, black men, white men. I'm just specifically saying across the board are in a mourning state. Let's look up that word mourning. Let's look that up. Bear with me 1 second. Pulling up the Etymon dictionary. I spelled mourning like the day. Mourn. All right, so this is mourn from the Old English moron, if I'm saying that correctly, to feel or express sorrow, grief, or regret, bemoan, long after. What are the majority of people are mourning after something? All right, the life that they wish they had, the life that they had, lives that that are no longer here. Everybody is in a continual space of sad, okay? To express sorrow, grief. These people are sad, man. And that's just the truth. You can lie to yourself, but you don't got to lie to me. All right? Even the excessive spending and the life that most people live, the reason why a lot of people are out of shape, fat, all right, obesity, a lot of people's answer to being mournful or sorrow is eating. All right? That's the answer to having being depressed. They eat. They eat cake. They eat ice cream, pizza. They don't get out of bed. This is a natural occurrence of people. If you are a healthy person, have a slightly positive, right? Um, you know, can see through the silver linings of things. You have. I'm just naming out basic things that if even if you have it on any level, you're still ahead of the crowd because most don't. Most don't. Most people are defeated. Most people are defeated. Most people, because of the sake of pride, they never want to let you see that they down. They never want to let you see them in a mournful way. So they put a smile on their face. They try to beat you to the punch of seeing who they are. So they put a mask on. But in reality, these people are hurting, man. All right. It says to remain sorrowfully, right? To remember, all right, to lament, feeling an expression of mourning, sadness, of sorrow, grief, or do you think? Let's just see which word sounds like the majority of Americans. The other word was rejoice. When the righteous are in rule, the people rejoice. Let's see if this is what it is. To rejoice, to own goods, property. Come on now. That takes this whole precept to a whole nother level for me, because when the righteous are in rule, the people shall own properties and be in goods. That's because in the kingdom of heaven, even the heathens after a certain point are going to be set up on a level where they'll have their own riches, they'll have their own wealth, they'll have their own food, they'll have clean water, they'll have growth. They're not going to have tyrants over them. They're going to have righteous kings, which is the Israelites. That's where all of this is going right now. They're not owning nothing. That's crazy. Part of rejoicing is actually owning. You feel good when you buy a car, get a place, buy some clothes, buy shoes. When you buy I don't know, a TV, buy something. Anytime you're able to make a purchase like that, you rejoice, because part of rejoicing, as I just learned myself, is to own goods and property. To possess something is to rejoice. The average person, the majority of people, like, don't own anything. Don't own anything. You got about almost a million plus people out here that are homeless. Don't own anything. Okay? Then you got a few people, the things that you own bring grief to you. Your car breakdown, your home. This is the American way. This is there's that video, there's a meme where it's Britney Spears. It's like the America I grew up with as a kid. It's like the young Britney Spears, early 2000s Britney Spears. And on the other side is the America that we live in. And it's her looking bugged out crazy in her house dancing around with a knife. Like, that's the America we live in. That's the truth. All right? It just says to enjoy the possessions of. Come on, man. I didn't even, like I said, going into this definition brings about another level to this Proverbs 29. When the righteous rule, the people rejoice. They enjoy the possessions. See, in America, what's a possession of yours that you can't enjoy? You as a husband or wife, you don't get to enjoy your wife properly in America. I don't give a damn who you are. Even your famous celebrities and athletes don't enjoy their wives because that's why there's so many divorces. This you touring on the road 200 nights, 200 days and nights out of the year, and you wonder why oh my God, such and such artist has issues with his girlfriend or wife, or such and such NBA player. It doesn't matter. More money, more problems. You can't, there's no possession in this piece. Your kids, you don't get to enjoy your kids. You gotta work. You gotta work to keep everything going for the sake of them, right? So by the time your little infant, he or she turns into 5, 5 turns into 12 real quick, 12 turns into 16, 16 turns into 20, the 19 and or 18 graduating in college. Like, damn, just like that. Just like that. Having the fruit, come on, man. This is rejoice. This is rejoice. Having the fruition of, so enjoying the fruits of your labors. Who the fuck in America is enjoying the fruits of their labors? You think 1 out of 5, 1 out of 10? You think 1 out of 10 people are enjoying the fruits of their labors? You think every 10 people you meet, one of them is enjoying the fruits of their labors? You think 1 out of 50, 1 out of 100? How many people do you really believe out here is enjoying the fruits of their labors? That's an actual heavy statement. Let's look what does that mean? Let's see what that means. Enjoying the fruits of your labor means experiencing the reward and benefit of your hard work and effort. How many people do you believe that they are enjoying and experiencing the rewards and benefits of your hard work and effort? That's how you know that this is a wicked place, because that's a natural order of things. You're supposed to enjoy the fruits of your labor. Cut this car back. In the Georgia heat, about 200 degrees outside. All right. But now back to the original point. How many people do you believe are enjoying the fruits of their labor? Experiencing the rewards. The American way was simply going, you did decent in high school, you did your elementary, middle school, high school years, right? You get in college, you graduate said college, you get a job. That job is supposed to pay you enough money to live off of and also pay off your student loans. No problems, right? And then you get that job and you can stay with that job for 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, as long as you're a good worker, right? You get perks, benefits. Go back and watch, I just recently watched months back, what's that movie with Chevy Chase? The Christmas movie one, whatever the name of it is, Vacation Christmas or something of that nature, but it's Christmas movie. In that movie, he loses his shit. Now, mind you, this movie came out in the 80s, and they're showing you how these corporations were cutting the bonuses. See, it used to be a time where people would work these jobs, and they get big boy bonuses at the end of the year on top of their checks from just doing a good job. What the fuck kind of bonus do you get for doing a good job on any of these jobs? A pizza party. See, I spoke on this in years past. Look it up yourself if you don't believe me. In medieval times, peasants only worked about 150 days a year. They only worked 150 days per year because the royal understood greatly that if you didn't allow these people to have their own time, things of that nature, that problems would occur. They know psychologically, sociologically, anthropology, all of that shit, astrology-wise, America as a whole, the corporation understands that greatly. They understand that. The goal is to break you if you aren't profitable, if you aren't making them money, making them a profit. They don't fucking care. They own the hospitals. They're seeing their numbers coming in. They're seeing their, okay, we just got to wait for this seed to grow 18 years and we're going to put his ass to work. Don't you get it? That's why I said, going back to this whole suicide and unalive rates, or however you want to word it, who cares? This is not monetized anyway. Right? That's nothing to be concerned about. You think these people out here are, you think that you just have Kensington, like I'm talking about in Philadelphia, the Bluff, certain areas around the country that are just dope holes. You think a dope hole just pops up because it's all fun and dandy? Like, you think niggas on, you think a person ends up on crystal meth and all these drugs because they're having a good fucking time? Let's be serious here. You think people smoke cigarettes and all that shit because they're having a good fucking time? See, I don't, listen, it's still wicked. But I'm speaking from a different aspect of what made me have to get a better understanding of what this is. I was talking to somebody, and I've always been a person like, ugh. I don't get the cigarette smoke, get that away. That's just been me. Hey, shalom, right? But I was talking to a person, and the person told me, and it made me realize that, like, people who smoke cigarettes, it's because they don't want to live. They know it's killing them. They know it's killing them. It's a tool for them to use to speed up the process. That's what it is. But why do you think that is? Because they live in this prison camp, also known as America, also known as Rome, and is better known as Babylon the Great. All right, let's get some more scriptures. But I'm still stuck on this and the benefits of hard work and efforts. Nobody feels that they're benefiting from their hard work. Your hard work, being a hard worker in America, you're gonna get punished for that shit. All you're gonna do is receive more responsibility, more work, more shit to answer to, and you think they're gonna pay you your way? You pay you your word? Fuck no. So what are we talking about? Nobody's getting paid what they deserve. Not doctors, not nurses, not lawyers, not police, not the army. Nobody. The only one that's getting paid is the elite hands that got their hands in everything. You got so-called white people out here. I remember they interview these rich-ass people on the streets. This one guy said he gets paid a percentage every time a car gets swiped. Every time a car gets swiped, he gets paid. My card, your card, everybody's card. He gets paid. You know how crazy that is? That's the wealthy. See, these rappers and athletes, these niggas they're rich. Chris Rock said that years ago in a special. He said the person that owns the color blue is wealthy. Shaq is rich. I forget who just said that recently. It was a big time rapper. It was like, you think these niggas is on stage? Oh, that was Dame Dash or somebody. I think it was Dame Dash in his most recent interview. He was speaking about the fact that, do you think that these people want to get on stage and do all this shit? You think that it was Dame Dash, it was. You think that that's what they want to do? You think that Beyonce and all these people getting on stage because they love it? No, they have to. Their overhead is crazy. It probably cost Jay-Z and Beyonce, it probably cost them how your bills and our bills are. They might have $5 million worth of bills a month. And I'm probably being nice. You know how much it costs for them to move? Staff, schooling, security, management, you name it. They probably got at least $2 to $5 million a month in bills. You can't stop. Just like we can't stop. They can't stop either. Think about that. Cardi B was complaining about that years ago, about the fact that she got $300,000 in bills a year. And this was years ago. Imagine certain of these artists. Imagine some of these athletes. You think Michael Jordan is coming back to talk on TV because he just loves the game of basketball? He need that 50 ball. See, to you and me, it's like, shit. Hell, that's life changing, of course. But how much money if $50 million come in and you got $5 million in bills every month, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 10 months, you ran through that 50 ball. Just like that. They got different bill problems. That's why they gotta keep going. That's why Smokey Robinson is on stage still. That's why Ronald Isley and all these old niggas are still going on stage. That's why Tom Joyner gets up at 5 in the morning and does the Tom Joyner morning show. You think Tom Joyner you think that 70, 80-year-old man, however old he is, wants to get up every morning at 4 or 5 in the morning and chuckle with niggas every day? Fuck no. He gotta pay bills like us. It costs man, ain't nobody enjoying the rewards of their shit. All right? What you got there? Wisdom of Solomon 2 and 6. Come on there, 4. Let us enjoy the good things that are present, and let us speedily use the creatures like as in the youth. Right. This is where we are. Now reading on, it says it signifies the satisfaction, and fulfillment that comes with achieving goals. Come on, man. That's why you people give up. This is the real reason why people give up. You gotta win. That's the human experience. You gotta fucking win. And I'm talking about little wins. See, little wins, you gotta sometimes get little wins. But see, because it's almost impossible to get little wins, it makes people super hyper focused on achieving big wins. You see how fucking draining that is? You see how that's a curse of the mind? You see how this leads people to hopelessness? I'm going to read this again. I'm building just off of this scripture. Proverbs 29 and 2. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. And when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourneth. Now, we already went in the morning. We're dealing with rejoice. To own goods, property, possess, enjoy the possession of, have the fruitation of. That's what it means to rejoice. To sit back and enjoy the fruits of your labor. Your children grow old and healthy and smart and strong and righteous. And watching your kids grow old. Grandparents. Enjoying the fruits of your family. Look at the fucking family structure out here. And what about the family structure that looks like fruitfulness? Starting a business, watching that business grow. Like I said, seeing the satisfaction and fulfillment that come with achieving goals and seeing tangible results from your dedication. Tangible results. This world gives us fake everything. Fake horsepower. Like I was saying to somebody at my job the other day, I was like, man, we were talking about having horses. He's like, man, but with a horse you got out like shit. You saying all that about horses, but I say, hey, that horse will give me other horses. Your car ain't gonna give you no other cars. And he had to, yeah, you know what? You're right. That's a tangible good. This is fake horsepower. I'm coming here, 400 horsepower. Shut the fuck up. Yeah. No, Nick, man, see? You work a fake ass job that pays you fake money to go to the grocery store and buy fake food. And then for majority of you people I've spoken on as well, to go live in a fake marriage, a fake relationship. It's all fake. Because none of this is fruitful. That's why we forsake it. When you really understand these concepts, it's not hard to forsake this shit. And that's our message. That's why in Micah, the 2nd chapter, it says what? Arise and depart, for this is not your rest, for it's surely polluted and it will destroy you. Roughly paraphrasing. That's it. Let go of this shit, because what of it is fruitful? It's all tainted. Getting a woman is tainted. If you're a woman, getting a man is tainted. Having children, tainted. Starting businesses, tainted. Used to be in the ancient world and centuries ago, you just had a business, you started the business. Hey, my brother, hey, shout out to Maya. He knows. Go. I recommend the men, if you really if you like a good show, go watch 1923 or 1913, one of the two. I think it's 1923, I believe. They show you in that show how these businessmen came in and started introducing shit to the public. Do you understand how much proper? Yeah, 1923, the water. An excellent show. Put you right back in that time period. They show you how they had to really sell washing machines and dishwashers, because the men were like, "Why the fuck would I buy that? I got a wife." That's what their attitude was. Because they were like, "See, nah, hold on, you trying to trick me? I got to use your washing machine. I gotta now go to this guy and have them line my house up with electricity." You see, it was conflict. But that's the point. That's when 100 years ago is when these international bankers. That's when all of these devils, these Jews, JOOs, started coming in. That's when go in the night. That same time period is when the Rockefellers, they purchased America. They set up the Federal Reserve Bank. This is when they started doing all this. And here we are 100 years later. That's why I said, go watch that show. Harrison Ford's character, I can't remember his name at this point, was fighting with the bankers because the bankers said that it didn't pay. This is when they were introducing people having to pay taxes on land. He was like, what the fuck? So I got to come up with this money, or I'm going to end up having to hand over the deed of my house to you and then paying you? You get what I'm saying? This is when all of this bullshit was introduced. This is the end of it all. This was their plan when they set up the Federal Reserve and the secret meeting at Jekyll Island and all that shit. They took away your ability to enjoy the fruits of your labor. That's not going to be the case in the kingdom of heaven. Hell, in the kingdom of heaven, I'll say it like this, right? After the nations serve 1,000 years, I can guarantee you there will be that'll be the first time the unaliving rate will reach 0%. The heathens are going to rejoice. They're going to own something. They're going to see their families grow. They're going to live life. Let me get that, because some of you are like, oh, what the fuck is he talking about? Let's get that. Let's go to Isaiah. Let me prove my point. Let's go to Isaiah 2. Yep. Give me a second. It's Isaiah 2 and 1, and it says, "In the word of that Isaiah the son of Amos saw concerning Judah and Jerusalem, and it shall come to pass in the last days that the mountain of the Lord's house," who's the Lord's house? Israel. All right. "Shall be established in the top of the mountains, What does mountains represents? Governments. All right. So in this time, in the kingdom of heaven specifically, the Lord is going to set up his, and he's doing it now through understanding. See, very soon, the understanding that the men of the Lord have is going to be magnified on such a level because everything else is about to be proven wrong in just a matter of minutes, matter of days. Matter of days, it's nothing to completely destroy Christianity, completely destroy Islam, completely destroy these schools of thought, all of this. Psalms 127. All right. So the Lord is going to establish his mountain, his government over all these governments. Right. And it says, and it shall be exalted above the hills, and all nations shall flow onto it. You have the little hats try to use this to justify themselves. Who's flowing onto them? We just seen the world parade them being attacked. That's not what's going to happen. That in itself proves that those people are not who they claim to be. But only those that are spiritually in tune will recognize that and see that for what it is. The rest of you, you'll be deceived. You'll fall for the lie. You'll fall for the okie doke. And that's because the Lord doesn't want you to see. It's really just that simple. All right. And it says, and many people shall go and say, come on, ye, and let us go unto the mountain of the Lord and to the house of God of Jacob, and he shall teach us his ways, and we will walk in his path. For out of Zion shall go forth the law and the word of the Lord from Jerusalem. And that's what's going to happen. That's why when you read in Revelation, the 5th chapter, about the Lord raising up a nation of kings and priests, who do you think we're going to be priesting to? Who do you think we're going to be priesting to? We're going to have to acknowledge this, these sacrifices, right? Because they're going to bring about sacrifices, bring about their offerings, tithes. You understand? They're going to have to go through all of this and pour upon us, and we'll teach them our ways. They'll realize that. They'll be basically really in the spirit. Jake be having a problem with cultural appropriation. Oh, man. We haven't seen cultural appropriation yet. You other nations, when Esau is done away with and you're in this space of rejoicing, you're going to be many us's. You're gonna have garments on with borders of blue and fringes. You're going to have beards. you go you gonna be many us's. And these Israelites are, I mean, not these Israelites, these heathens already show that, man. These heathens be on the other side of the world and be cosplaying and be dressing up like 50 Cent. They be dressing up like Michael Jordan. They be dressing up like Kobe Bryant. They be invested. Imagine in that time. The scriptures say ye are gods. They're gonna worship us. Because they're gonna know that this is the way, as the scriptures say. So I promise you, in that time, there'll be no that suicide rate will hit 0 in the kingdom of heaven. Please believe in that. It's going to be 0.0. Not anybody going to be trying to. They're going to be trying to live long lives. They're going to try to go as far as they can. They're going to be praying to Yahweh Shem Yahweh. I'm being so for real right now. These heathens going to be praying to Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai and to the elect. All right, to add life onto them. That's the truth. All right. Now, let's get some more back into this article. All right. And it says, I'm going to close up here in a few. It says, according to the CDC, an estimate 12.8 million adults in the U.S. have seriously considered unaliving themselves. 12, almost 13 million adults. Of those, 3.7 created a plan, and 1.5 went on to attempt. So that's another point. You got a lot of people out here that don't have the unrighteous strength to follow through or to even do it. But that doesn't mean that they're not. And that's why the scriptures tell us to be at peace with all men. That's a major reason why I, in my head, and I'm sharing in this video, that you all, especially you women, should be very much so if it be possible, be at peace with all people. Because why? A lot of people around you are on a suicide rate, on a suicide mission. They're losing their minds, and they want you to give them what they're looking for. They want you to hurt them. They want you to send them back to the spirit world. That's the truth. So keep it kosher, keep it peaceable, keep your head down, stay out the fucking way. I be cool with every fucking body, man. I be cool with everybody. I try my best. I'm human. I lose my patience with these stupid ass people. I'm not even gonna cap like that. But in the car, in my spirit, when but I'm not out here picking fights out and, hey, putting the window, hey man, learn how to fucking drive, nigga, motherfucker. I'm not doing none of that shit, and you shouldn't either. That's why the apostles and elders told us in the spirit years ago to stay out of these places, these clubs, these places. Don't be going to certain type of events and shit. Why? Because in these events, people are drunk, people are hot, and they're looking for trouble, man. All right, it says over time, suicide rates have been showing troubling trends. Between 2000 and 2018, rates rose by 37%. From 2000, fool, that was 144 passed by. Hell yeah, because in the year 2000, in the early 2000s, listen, man, I lean on the side of the world really did end in 2000. A lot of y'all scoff and scorn at that. Like, oh, the apostles said, your apostle said the world was going to end in 2000. It did. That prophecy did come to pass. Fuck is you talking about? Actually, I'm going to start standing on that hill, man. The world ended in 2000. The world, if you didn't experience the 144, if you didn't experience life before the year 2000, you really ain't experienced any kind of life. Because the world did change. The world of what was before the year 2000 has been gone 25 years. The apostles said that the world was going to end in the year 2000. It did. It did. If you're spiritually enough to see that, the world ain't been the same since, man. That's why it makes sense where through the spirit, still in the spirit, why the world couldn't have physically ended it. The elite couldn't have brought that their martial law and everything down and chipping everybody. It couldn't have did it in the year 2000. But you know what they did? They laid they started fucking working and digging and building right under our noses, this new world order. That's what they did. But it took everything that you see today. It took destroying the morality of people. It took destroying family. It took destroying marriages. It took having people destroy themselves. We have men cutting their rods off. We got women becoming men. We got children destroying their bodies in the name of a feeling. This wasn't even a thought in 1995. In 80, I'm pretty sure I can't speak to the 80s, but you get my drift. I'm pretty sure nobody in the fucking 80s was thinking about these things and worrying about the things that are being worried about right now. So between 2000 and 2018, it rose by 37%, before declining slightly by 5% from 2018 to 2018 to 2020. Now, mind you, for those that are tuning in later into this, what the fuck was that? Whatever. That stat has changed. All right. It said up here in the year 2023, 2 years ago, it was like one person unalived themselves every 11 minutes. But we live in a time now where that rate has reached 1 in every 44 seconds. I rounded it out 1 second just in the name of 144. But it's 1 in 43 seconds. Somebody unalives themselves. I've been on this thing. Hold on. We've been going 44 seconds. Let's look something up. Let's see. Let's see if I can come up with that math. Probably not. But that's a lot, man. Think about it. 44 minutes I've been going. That's about almost 43 people, 44 people, 44, 45 people have harmed themselves, man. You know how crazy that is? 45 minutes I've been going. That means about at least 45 people aren't here anymore by the hands of themselves. This is not a light thing, all right? And I'm about to close up here, but hey, man, through the spirit, just going into that word rejoice, man, and seeing it goes into ownership, man. Think about that, man. Owning something. You feel good when you buy a car. That's why the Lord is killing the carnality. Because if you can't feel good without that shit, then you're not fit to serve you. How about Shimmy Shai? Because we gotta forsake all this shit. There's a power in forsaking this shit. Because it's all disappearing. All right? All of it. So with that, I'm gonna go ahead and close this up. All right? I want to give all the glory and honor to Yahweh, B'Hashem Yahushai, B'Hashem Rakakwadash. Shalom to all you sincere Akim that's out here that tuned in. Double honors unto my apostles and elders. Shalom to all you people. Shalom.